Welcome back, humor consumers, to the Life Happens, Laugh Anyway podcast. I'm comedian Tracy DeGraff.
And I'm Cathrine, co-host and bestie.
Hello there, co-host and bestie.
Hello, Tracy.
How are you doing?
Good.
Good day today?
Yeah.
Good enough?
Good enough, you could say.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It snowed today, and it's April.
I know. And then the day before, was it yesterday? It was really nice.
Oh, it was gorgeous, like summer.
It was like summer. It was gorgeous. Yeah. We got all the patio stuff out and sat out there. So, oh well.
You know, these things happen, and it just makes us, like, our heads spin. But we go, we're all right. We're good.
Also, the cold weather today and tomorrow is just going to make me feel all that much more glad when we get to Florida tomorrow.
I know. We're so excited.
Yes.
If anybody's listening to us from Florida, we're coming your way. We love you. I don't like the heat, but I'm willing to give it a try in April to see how it goes.
You'll be fine.
I know. I was so bummed. I screwed up in my weather app, as you know.
I know.
We're going to Venice Beach, Florida, but apparently there's also a Venice Beach, California. There are two different sides of the world. And I was like, this is the best thing ever, Venice Beach, California.
Yeah, and so you sent a picture, a screenshot of the forecast. And we're going to, with our friend Angie, we're staying at her mom's house. And Angie says, that's the wrong Venice Beach. Oh, it was hilarious.
Oh, yeah. To you.
Well, of course. Oh, don't tell me you didn't think it was funny.
I did think it was funny. That's why I'm mentioning it here on the podcast.
Yeah.
Well, if you're just joining us for the first time, welcome aboard to the Life Happens, Laugh Anyway podcast. Cathrine and I are two besties that get together once a week to record something. And today, here's the thing
really good stuff.
Yeah, here's the thing we did today. We have two topics that are coming up, today's topic and next week's topic. Mm-hmm. Well, I prepared for one of them, which is Waco, Texas. We're going to be talking about the huge, explosion, fire, the big old bad Waco
big debacle.
That. Mm-hmm. I'm prepared to talk about that. Mm-hmm. And Cathrine prepared for the other topic.
Right.
Which is the 90s.
The 90s.
Yes. So...
Which is funny because the whole reason this whole 90s thing came up was because a few weeks ago, our friend Janine had said to us, you guys should do a thing on Waco.
Yeah. Thanks, Janine, for the tip.
Yeah. So we both were interested. And then right away, Kenny and I watched the documentary. And I wasn't prepared to take notes or anything, but I definitely was like, wow, this is different than the other Waco thing that I watched, in that different people were interviewed and things like that. Yeah. So, but what happened was I went down, as I do, rabbit trail. Because, so after Kenny and I watched it, then I started to do a little bit of like some research, and something came up on, I don't even know what it was, but it was Netflix something, and it was on the 90s because Waco happened in the 90s. And I was like, wow, there's a lot of stuff that happened in the 90s, a lot of change. And I don't know, it just kind of touched a nerve with me enough to be like, we should really do something on that. So anyway.
Well, so here's where we are. Today we decided we're going to just stick with the 90s.
Yeah.
And it's such a perfect thing because I remember very little about that whole decade because I was popping out a kid every other year throughout the 90s. But we're going to do a little quiz, and Catherine's going to quiz me, and I'll probably miss everything, but maybe you all enjoy it. And then next week, we're going to do Waco.
Right.
All right. And by the way, speaking of Janine, who gave us the Waco topic, if any of you have topics that you'd like us to do, please let us know. We will do them.
And how can they let us know, Tracy?
They can contact us online. You can go to my website, tracydegraff.com. Yeah. You can email me, tracy@tracydegraff.com. Or you can DM us on social media, Tracy DeGraff.
Well, yeah, and plus you can make comments on, I don't know if you can on Spotify, or it's not Podbean. You cannot, I believe.
No, you can do comments on Podbean.
Well, one of them you can't. But
anyway, just get in touch with us. Most of the people listening live next door, down the street, go to church. Just tap us on the shoulder and go, hey, I got an idea.
I was going to say that.
I got an idea. do this one.
Most of them are our friends.
Yeah, you think like we've got like people.
It's funny because we have this world map on the wall. And it's like,
hey, we have people.
I just know the Soviets are listening to us.
Well, what would they rather laugh than deal with the real life? Yes.
Right.
Speaking of sponsors, Janine is a sponsor.
Yes,
Thank
she
you,
is.
Janine, for sponsoring us. This podcast is sponsored through a Patreon account, and if you'd like to get involved, tell them how they can do that, Catherine.
Well, they can sponsor us by clicking on when they get the email, if they listen to us already. They could just click on that, and it's real easy. Follow the prompts, and they can contribute that way. Or a few friends, and actually Linda is going to be a new sponsor.
We have a new sponsor.
I know, I was so excited. She told me last night. I was like, oh, yay.
That's so sweet.
Yeah.
She's our Bible study leader, too. We miss her. She's in Florida right now.
Yes, she is.
But she's coming back.
I know. She sent me some pictures, and I was like a little, not
jelly.
Not jelly. I was going to say not jelly, but more like, oh.
Looks nice.
I told her I was happy for that.
Yes.
Which I am. Which I
you
totally am.
are.
I don't know why I'm laughing because I really, really am.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So there's two ways that sponsors can get involved.
That.
Okay, I'll tell you right back, Catherine. Don't worry. Let me. She's snorting.
Oops.
Okay, hold please. 2 ways for sponsors to get involved. You can either go to our Patreon page and you can sign up to be a sponsor. We have 1 level. It's very simple. It's $5 a month. You won't miss it, guaranteed. It'll take you 5 minutes to get it set up, and you'll never miss that $5 a month, but it means the world to us.
Yeah,
so
it does.
thank you.
Right.
Or if you don't want to mess with that, you can just give us any donation of any amount, and and we'll take it.
I got to tell you something.
Just directly.
Something
Yes.
about what you said about not missing the money.
Right.
You know, you won't miss it.
You won't.
Unless you get the, like a little alert from PayPal, because I get them and not Kenny. And I was like, what the heck? There's fraud. Somebody is hacked into our account again. I almost called the bank.
Oh, Catherine.
I was like,
and it was for our podcast?
Yes.
Oh, jeez.
Well, I knew I had the Tiny Facts fee.
Oh, boy.
You know, I downloaded that dumb app for, for the Tiny Facts. And I was like, oh, I don't need it anymore. Darn it. And so I'm like, okay, it's not that. What is that?
Stop. This is going to be the best episode. If somebody's listening for the first time, just stay with us.
We're going to get
We're
another
gonna
critic
get there.
that said it took them 30 minutes to get to the subject.
I know we've had that in the past, and it was a guy.
Well,
he tuned into our episode called What Women Really Want.
Right.
You know, what women want to hear. That's what it was.
Oh,
what women want to
and
hear.
He probably had other intentions.
Well, he just wanted the info. He just wanted to get right to the point.
He didn't want our info, though.
Well, obviously, he's never going to succeed with women because, you know. Anyway, let's move on.
Yeah, let's
move on.
Come on now. Okay.
All right. So we got that out of the way. All right. The takeaways. The takeaways from today, friends. If you give us 45 minutes of your time, here's what you're going to get. Major events quiz. Catherine's going to quiz me. I'm going to know nothing. So you'll be the winners there. The second takeaway is things we've said goodbye to. Things we no longer have.
Right. They were like popular in the 90s.
And now no more.
Or they were a thing in the 90s. Yeah. And now bye-bye.
And then finally, what's the biggest impact, right? In terms of change.
Like I'll ask you that.
From the 90s to today. Okay. Yeah. And then, of course, as always, we have an inspirational close. So stay tuned for the closing. Mm-hmm. You don't want to miss it. Mm-hmm. Okay?
Okay.
Let's roll.
All right, let's go.
Quiz.
Okay. I'm going to ask you some of these major things. And then you just tell me what year you think it was in the 90s.
All right, I got my thinking cap on.
Some of these, I'm just going to say what they are because I know you won't know for sure. But I'll just start with this one. Okay?
Let's give it a shot.
All right. The online auction website eBay is founded. What year do you think that was?
92.
No, 95.
Okay. I have no idea.
Okay, let's go from an easier one.
Wait, hold please.
Yes.
I remember as a kid back in the 70s and 80s when the local radio station on Saturday mornings, they did like a swap a swap meet type of thing on the radio.
Oh.
Yeah, it was kind of like eBay, but it was on the radio. So people could call up the radio station. They had a call-in number, and they could call up and say, I've got a couch for sale.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
I remember listening to it at my grandma's house. Anyway, all right, little tidbit.
Okay, awesome. All right, what year do you think it was when O.J. Simpson, he was fleeing the police in his white Ford Bronco?
Okay, I remember watching that live on television, and I know for a fact that I was. Oh wait! When he was fleeing, I remember where I was when the sentencing, like
the trial,
the trial verdict came down. When he was fleeing, you're asking me what year?
What year was that?
I'm gonna guess 92 again. 92 for the win.
Jeez. 94.
Oh,
all right.
Sorry.
Okay. Now, this one I'll just say it for the sake of time.
All right, say it.
All right. Tim Berners-Lee publishes a formal proposal for the World Wide Web. That's in 1990.
In 1990.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was that early.
They started the web. The internet?
Not yet, but he proposed like this proposal. He's got it together, and and I also didn't know that was in Switzerland.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
I thought it was Al Gore. I thought he was involved.
I know.
No,
I thought of that too.
Come on.
No. And did you also know that later in 2004 he was knighted by Queen Elizabeth?
That same dude.
That same dude.
Well, that's a pretty important little deal there.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and to be knighted by the Queen.
Right.
Okay, what else you got?
Well, also in 1990, East and West Germany are reunited after the collapse of the Soviet Union. That was a
very
big
nice
deal. Yes.
Oh, I hated those images on the news, and I just felt so bad for those families that would be like divided. Come on now.
Yeah. What was it? Remember that movie that we watched not that long ago called The Balloon? It was so good.
Oh yeah, they were trying to get over the wall.
Golly. Yeah, it was very, very
I can't
good
imagine
movie. I highly
living like
recommend
that.
it. Yeah.
Sorry, we're talking over each other. Let's just both talk at the same time. Go ahead.
Another interesting fact. I'm not going to quiz you on it because I know you won't know it. Well, she's got the look like I'm offended,
shocked.
But okay.
Yes, go ahead.
One of the most completed T-Rex fossils is found in South Dakota and is named Sue.
Sue, I knew that.
Well, I know you know that it would be named Sue, but I knew you wouldn't know what year.
92. I'm just gonna guess 92 for the whole thing.
Okay. Now, what year did the internet become available for unrestricted commercial use? Now it's in play.
I recall getting our first computer around 95, 96, mid-90s. Other people had them, so it had to be before that.
Yes, it was 91.
Oh.
As early as 91.
Wow.
Yeah. What year did Freddie Mercury from Queen die of AIDS? Kind of sad, but...
Well, I saw him in concert. That was in the 80s.
You did?
I did. I saw Queen.
Oh, wow.
I went with my friend Lisa Davis. If you're listening, Lisa, hello. And I remember it very vividly. It was a great night, and that's the first time I smelled pot. I could smell it. And I was like, what's that?
The smell of skunk.
And Lisa's mom was with us, and she's like, oh, girls, just never mind.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. So what year did he die?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't realize.
92.
Oh, Tracy. No, it was 91.
Oh, darn it.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm sorry that he died of AIDS.
Yeah,
I hate that disease.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. Now I'm going to ask you what year... Okay, now you should know this.
Okay.
Okay, what year did Waco, like the big debacle in Waco, Texas, what year did that happen?
Oh, I just watched it this morning.
Yes, you did.
Well, I know a lot of things about it. Where are my notes?
No.
I know that.
I guess you could do that.
Okay.
I'll just tell you.
Okay. 92.
93. Shoot. 93. And it lasted for 51 days.
Started in February, I knew that.
Yes.
Oh.
But we will cover. Yeah. Kenny just texted. I'm home.
Yeah. We were delayed.
Well, thankfully, he brought dinner home.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I text them back for you?
No.
Oh, okay. All right, never mind. Go ahead.
What year? Oh, in that same year, I'll just tell you. That was the same year Lorena Bobbitt
whacked
her
husband. Mm-hmm. Wackadoo.
She cut off his penis.
Yes, you said that. You said that right on the air.
Is a
term. I know, it's a medical
term. It's a medical term. I think.
Yeah, she did it.
Mm-hmm.
And then he didn't.
And then okay, stop.
It hurts. It hurts. Go ahead.
And you were walking at the word.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, please.
Okay.
Continue.
Okay.
Sorry. Oh, my stomach hurts.
Goodness. All right.
Okay, my eyes are watering.
I know. Let's see now. Oh, what year was the Oklahoma bombing?
Well, it was after Waco, because that guy.
Yes, you are right.
That guy was part of the Waco thing, or was there.
He wasn't part of it. He came as a spectator.
He was there, and he
later
saw it,
afterward,
and he then decided this isn't right. So it's not 92. I know that. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna say 90. Gosh, there was a lot going on, right? Between OJ,
that's
Lorena.
That's why I wanted to do this whole thing.
Wow. Okay, so Timothy McVeigh. I remember watching that on the news too.
Yes.
Now, let's put him at 93.
95.
95. I was going to say that.
Yeah, because he had to plan,
Yeah.
So,
what a shame.
Yes.
What a shame.
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
Okay. I will just say that in 93, the Hubble telescope is repaired in space. That was a big deal by a crew on the Space Shuttle Endeavour.
Yeah.
Remember that?
I remember the Hubble telescope. I don't remember the repair, but it's an amazing thing. And now they have the telescope that even goes beyond that. Like the one that they have now. I forgot the name of it, but the images are crazy.
The Hubble telescope is still being used. They plan on using that they think it's going to last till 2040, something like that, but they're still using that old thing. Okay. Also, NAFTA was formed in 93. That's that North American Free Trade Agreement that's signed into law.
Yeah, the Clintons did that.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Here's a big deal that happened in 93. That Intel introduces the Pentium microprocessor. So I'm not really savvy on technology, but I do know.
So is that like a chip? Like a little thing?
Well, I just know that that's when things started to, happen faster. Like, microprocessor, things took off from there. That's all I know.
Yeah.
Okay. What year did the Mall of America open in Minnesota?
I remember being there when it was being built. My mother was being treated in Minnesota for her bone cancer, and I was with her. And it was being built.
Okay.
And she died in 93. So I'm going to say 95. 94? 92? Don't say.
92?
No! No!
I was going to say, come on, Tracy.
Stop.
Yes.
Oh, Lord. I'm sorry. Yes, 92. I knew that.
Also, what year was Bill Clinton, the Democrat, elected as the president?
89?
No, we're not in the 80s.
Oh, that's right. 1990. 92.
92.
Oh,
92.
Geez.
Okay. And since we're on 92, I'll just tell you that's also when those big Rodney King riots had happened.
Oh, it was terrible.
It was very terrible when those four officers were acquitted in the trial for abuse on him. And so anyway, that's when the riots happened. Are you cheating?
No, I'm not. I'm back on the telescope thing.
Oh.
I'm looking at space right now. Sorry.
Spacey Tracy.
I am. It's fascinating. You got me off on a little trail.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. I'm listening.
Light up.
I'm fully listening.
Okay. What year did Princess Diana and Prince Charles get divorced?
Oh, wow. 94?
96. Okay. Oh, this one I thought was interesting too because I would have said later. Okay, that's your clue. The internet search engine Ask Jeeves is created.
I don't really remember using it.
Really?
No, actually, believe it or not, it was my dad who introduced me to Google.
No.
Seriously. He found it before I did. And he's like, have you heard of this thing called Google?
Your dad?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I was like, what thing?
Oh my gosh.
And now I Google everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I did use Ask Jeeves.
Did you?
Yeah. And it was a friend of mine that introduced me to Google. She's like, Google it. I was like, what? That's a verb?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Okay. Ask Jeeves was created in 96. Okay.
I had a baby in 96. I remember that.
Which baby?
My baby Joel.
Oh, right. Yeah, 96.
He's now a grown man. He's married.
Mm-hmm.
Not a baby anymore.
Yeah,
He had a giant head,
not.
though. I cried.
Right.
I was like, Jesus, I'm coming. All right.
Yeah.
Move along.
Okay, let's see if I skipped anything. Oh, Pixar releases Toy Story. Okay, what year was that?
97.
95.
95. All right.
And it was, I think, the second biggest blockbuster, high income.
First of all, okay, Toy Story was an incredible film.
Loved it.
Incredible.
I loved it.
The creativity of the script, the characters, the
animation,
everything.
Yeah.
I loved the little quirky adult humor that was in there that kids aren't going to get. Not adult in terms of inappropriate, but just adult.
Right.
The adults are going to enjoy this film as well as the kids.
Yeah.
Loved
And how brilliant is
it.
that? Because kids want to go see it.
Yeah.
Adults get to enjoy it as well. I guess, so I went down another rabbit trail when I was looking into this.
Of course you did.
Of course I did. I know. And Disney had suffered like a long time of not producing any real big, like, blockbuster movies. And so, like, they hadn't done something since I think it was like the 70s. And then in the 90s, that's when things took off again. And Pixar was one of them. Well, Pixar at the time, I think Pixar and Disney joined, but then they didn't. And I think they're back together again. I don't know. But I do know that that's when they started making really good movies again, like The Lion King, and, Mulan, and all of those things.
When we went to see The Lion King, my second son, Luke, who's now, how old is Luke? 31, I think.
I think
so he was born in 1991.
Mm-hmm.
We were sitting in the movie theater watching The Lion King, and he asks me, can we go in there?
Oh,
he saw the big screen and all the animals and all the stuff, and he felt like it was so real to him that you could just go into it.
Yeah, I remember my kids, like Patrick and Emily, really being completely in awe, and like when walking out of the theater, just kept turning back, because they were mesmerized.
Do you know how much was the budget for Toy Story?
I don't know the budget, but I know how much they made.
How much did they make?
$373 million.
It says here the budget was $30 million.
Wow.
That's a good return.
Yeah.
That's pretty darn good.
Well, okay, so since we're on movies.
Yeah.
Titanic. Mm-hmm. What year was that?
97.
Yes, 97. And it was the highest grossing film of all time.
Wow.
Now, they spent a lot on making the movie, but it made over $1 billion.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I really enjoyed that film. Prior to that film being released, I knew it was coming out. Mm-hmm. And you know how I am with information. I do get kind of like, I do take like these rabbit trails, and then I just keep going until I have all the info. Mm-hmm. I read like 2 books that were about the Titanic.
Yeah.
And it was so inspiring to me.
Yeah, I remember I used to read the Titanic books to the kid, mostly Patrick, and I thought it was extremely interesting as well. Okay, so also in 97, what book was published in 97 that became world famous?
Kids book?
You could say that.
Harry Potter?
Yes. So the first Harry Potter book is published by author J.K. Rowling. Do you know that the franchise, the whole Harry Potter franchise, altogether now is valued at $25 billion?
I believe it.
$25 billion.
I totally
That's
believe
incredible. Also in 97, scientists at the Roslin Institute unveiled Dolly, the first successfully cloned sheep.
Ew.
I know. Yeah. Also, that's the same year Princess Diana died in the car crash.
That was terrible. A tragedy.
Yes, definitely. Let me see if I missed anything. Well, I have like world news. The war on terror. Al-Qaeda had bombed World Trade Center in 92. 5 years later at the U.S. Embassy. And we all know what that was leading up to in 2001. And then I thought this was a major thing too. The Channel, which was the underground channel, under the Channel tunnel between England and France, that had opened in 94. That was a big deal. And also the O.J. Simpson trial was in 90. Do you know?
Well, it was probably 95.
Yes, 95. Oh, and I just saw this too. In 97, Mike Tyson bites Evander Holyfield's ear during a match and is suspended by boxing. And I mention it because it's on the list. It was a big deal. I'm sure you remember that, even though you don't remember.
I do recall it happening. I didn't know, when it was.
Yeah. Yes.
Do you know what J.K. Rowling's name actually is?
No, what is it?
Joanne.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what the K is for, but it says here on her website her name is Joanne.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what year was the search engine Google founded?
I'm going to say 94.
98.
All right. I'll take it.
And Apple Computers, they revealed the first iMac computer in 98. Remember, it had that like almost transparent, and it was like a aqua blue.
I don't remember that.
Oh gosh. Yeah. Well, the United States had a budget surplus for the first time in 30 years in 98. And then 98 is also known for the Clinton scandal with Monica Lewinsky. That was a big deal too. And then in 99, Clinton faces impeachment proceedings. That file sharing service Napster is created. You remember that?
Yeah.
And then a really big deal was the 99. The year 1999, they were looking forward to the 2000s, and they thought for sure there was going to be this big Y2K problem.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
So did you stock up on anything in 1999 for the Y2K thing?
I did go to Sam's.
What'd you get?
And at the time, I thought like that was a big stock up of stuff. I don't remember what I got, but I remember going there thinking, well, I better be prepared. But looking back, there was no way that we could live on that, You know
what I got? Did I tell you what I got?
I don't think so.
Well, okay, so it's 1999, and I have 3 kids. I've got 4. I've got 4 kids.
Yeah.
I had Adam, I had Joel, I had Nathan, and I had Luke, 4 kids. And they said the world's going to stop. So get ready. Okay, so I went to the big box store, whatever. It must have been Sam's. And I bought 2 things. I stocked up on coffee.
Oh, no way.
and tampons. That's it. I was like, I can't live without these 2.
Oh my God.
Forget the kids.
Forget the family. You could have got macaroni and cheese.
Okay, but here's the thing. I had a backup plan.
Yeah.
Because my friend Sherry at my church, she had a stockpile.
Oh.
She had spaghetti and sauce and noodles and mac and cheese.
I would imagine your brother would have been prepared as well.
Yeah, but he lived in another state, so I'd have to track him down. But I was like, okay, if this is all coming to an end, Tracy's going to have these 2 things.
Yeah. And you know why they thought that all things were going to go nutso, right?
Yeah, because we were turning over to 2000.
Yeah.
And the computers
they were afraid they weren't going to be able to read like 2001 as opposed to 1901.
Which is so dumb.
Yeah, we were going to lose. What is that?
Oh, that's my timer telling me it's time for prayer, but where's it at? Where's my phone?
It's right there under your paper.
All right, sorry. Whoopsie, sorry guys. Stop.
Anyway, and so, yeah, they thought we were going to lose electricity and all the financial institutions were going to shut down. And so that was...
And I know that they did have some little hiccups.
Yeah, but
it wasn't at all anything that anybody noticed. But the hype and the drama ahead of it was ridiculous.
It was.
It was ridiculous. And I thought, okay, I better be prepared. Get the coffee, get those tampons, get them in there. All right, what's next?
Okay. We also had the Woodstock 99 disaster.
Oh, yeah, I watched that documentary.
Mm-hmm. Sorry.
Are you chewing ice? Mm-hmm. We're recording a podcast, Cathrine.
I know. Mm-hmm.
You can't chew ice on a podcast.
I had to wet my whistle.
I know, but you're supposed to put your lips so that the ice don't go in.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. Oh, what do we have here? The European Union adopted the euro. That was in 99 as well, as its single currency. But Britain, Denmark... That's major news, Tracy.
Oh, not here.
Well, it affects us.
Okay, next.
The euro is second to the U.S. in terms of, what's most traded. The most traded currency.
Okay. All right.
Tracy literally has her nose scrunched up and she's like...
I did a big yawn.
Yes, you did. Okay. Mm-hmm. Also, unfortunately, April 20th. Okay, so I noticed there's a pattern when I was going over these things.
Yeah.
So many of these things happened in April of whatever year in the 90s. On April 20th, 99, the Columbine high school shooting happened.
That was horrible.
That was so horrible. And unfortunately, ever since then, we have heard of many school shootings since then.
And when that happened, one would think it was such a shock to the system. It had never happened to the public's knowledge. To my knowledge, it had never happened. A massive school shooting like that. The media at that time was turning into the 24-hour news cycle. Prior to the 90s, like in the 80s, in the 70s, in the 60s, in the 50s, you did not have news on 24 hours a day.
I don't think so.
Things happened around the world.
Yeah.
No, 100% you did not. Things happened all over the world 24 hours a day, but you did not hear about them until 6 o'clock the next day.
Yeah.
Because
or in the morning.
No, you had the worldwide news with Walter Cronkite.
That is true.
What was his name?
Cronkite.
Him. Mm-hmm. You had him, and he came on at 6 o'clock. You had world news. Everything stopped, and everybody paid attention, and you went onto the TV, and you watched what's going on.
Yes, and who was the other guy? Oh, he had a really deep voice on
Dan
NBC.
Rather?
No, on NBC. Oh my gosh. He seemed super smart.
From like the 80s?
Well, he was probably 70s as well.
Brokaw? Tom Brokaw.
And Peter Jennings. Yeah.
Right. But okay, decades before, the news crew, whatever, they had to get their info from their little ticky tape thing.
Yeah.
The AP, the Associated Press, whatever, came over and it gave them the ticky tape thing. Well, now by the 90s, you've got this internet, you've got the World Wide Web, you've got the Google, and you've got news, and you've got news crews on scene.
They had to keep up with, the public who were just out there putting the stuff on the internet immediately. So I think that the news world had to keep up with that.
Okay, it changed. And the public drove the need for the news because if it bleeds, it leads. Why? Because the public pays attention.
Right.
So you think about it, when we watched Waco, Waco unfolded over 51 days.
Yep.
It was on the news every single day.
Yes, it was.
And then you watched the OJ trial. OJ Simpson, our famous football player, he jumps over suitcases to get to the car rental. Yeah. I mean, he's OJ. Mm-hmm. You watched him. in an unspeakable thing that happened there every single day. And, it was like watching a soap opera, and you couldn't make up how strange that was.
Well, that's just it, right? It's like even today, true crime, these real life stories, for some reason, they keep us engaged.
It's a shame.
It is. I know.
Anyway, yeah. Oops.
Okay.
Sorry, Lord. Let's
well,
go.
On another note, the 90s also introduced hip hop, gangster, like rap music. That's when that started to become a thing.
You can't touch this.
Yes.
Can't
Oh,
touch
and then
this.
what was that other one? Oh my gosh, I can't remember the name of it, but they consider it classic rap now. It was like one of the first.
I remember the Macarena.
Okay, so the Macarena was so big that even I think it was Colin Powell.
He did it?
Yeah, he did it. I think it was him.
Yeah.
Mariah Carey, she was the most iconic musical artist of the 90s. New video game consoles became a big thing, and Michael Jordan was a huge star.
I want to see that film about his shoes, about the shoe company.
Oh yeah,
It's out now.
What,
I
Nike?
think. Well, it's about those Jordan shoes.
The Air
Jordans.
Yeah. All right.
Matt Damon.
Well, Matt Damon what?
Matt Damon and Ben Affleck are in that film.
Oh, are they?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So that wraps up all of the major things that happened in the 90s.
Well, what were you doing in the 90s, Catherine Shipman?
I was getting married.
Woohoo!
Yes.
That's still working out for you.
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
I know. And
You had your babies. Well, a couple of them.
I had 2 of them in the 90s, which I was going to say. We built our house in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Really, our adult life really took off in the 90s.
Yeah.
So that's what was going on with me in the 90s. I was just, becoming an adult.
Yeah. Yeah.
And learning about things like the euro dollar and
Oh,
all of that.
You're so British.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. The 90s for me, as you know, I had 3 of my babies. 3 of my 5 babies were born in the 90s, and then the other 2 were in. No, wait. I had 4 of my babies. I keep forgetting.
You had 4, right?
I had 4 of my babies in the 90s, and then I had 1 in 2001. So I was quite a busy mother, learning how to be a mother.
Yeah.
And how to manage 5 boys was very much a big thing.
You know what's so crazy is I was reading a lot of stuff about like the stuff in the 90s, and people who were like a decade or so behind us, their version of the 90s is so different because they were into like all of these things like the Orbitz drink, which is no longer
Never
a thing.
heard of it.
I know, because we were adults, we were buying like formula and things like that.
We were busy doing important things.
Right, I know. And it was so interesting to me because I was like, wow, I was also young in the 90s, but I definitely I wasn't into what some of the, the people a decade behind us consider like fads and things. Anyway, so I thought that was interesting when I was reading it. Yeah.
Fun. All right.
Okay. So now some things that we have said goodbye to.
Okay. What is it?
All right. Well, we've definitely said goodbye to the Y2K thing. I mean, that was definitely nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
Beanie Babies.
Thank goodness.
Beanie Babies. Oh my God. I remember driving that's another thing I did. I did drive all over the place to get certain ones. We said goodbye to the Discman, which was, yeah, I would have thought that would have been gone before that, but no, we were still using those things.
Technology
has
changed so much right before our very eyes.
Yes.
It's ridiculous.
We said goodbye to AIM, which was the AOL Instant Messenger. Remember that symbol?
I do.
Yeah, it was like that A... and the triangle.
What was the name of that movie with Tom Hanks? Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan.
Oh, that Sleepless in Seattle?
No, after that. It was when email became a thing.
Oh, Oh, You Got Mail.
Yes.
You got mail.
mail.
Yes. Well, that was the instant messenger thing, I believe.
Yeah.
The America Online thing.
Well, You Got Mail. I mean, that was such a thing to look forward to.
Yes.
Like that was an adrenaline rush or a dopamine hit or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, for some people. We said goodbye to the iMac G3, like that big. You don't recall it anyway. So anyway, it was that colorful.
Yeah,
computer.
I looked it up. I saw it online.
Oh,
when you said it.
Yeah,
I saw it. Oh yeah.
Okay, Netscape Navigator, that browser.
Okay.
Lots of people, remember using that. Video rental stores went bye-bye. They did go into the 2000s, but the only ones that really were still there were Blockbuster and I think Hollywood something.
Yeah.
Or the other.
I just remember about Blockbuster. As soon as you open that door, welcome to Blockbuster.
I know. I actually hated that when they did that, but I think it was a theft thing.
Now they go, welcome in.
Welcome in. Okay.
Welcome in. They say that at Disney World, When you walk into a thing at Disney World, they go, welcome in.
Do they? I didn't even notice that.
I did.
Okay.
Go ahead.
VHS tapes. We said goodbye to those.
I still have some, though.
You do?
I do. I have my wedding on VHS tapes.
Oh, well, yeah, I have that.
I didn't have it converted.
I do have them as well.
I can't watch them.
Yeah, well, I actually have a thing to watch it. Okay, and rewinding them. Remember,
Yeah.
like if you had the movie Titanic,
Yeah.
you had to rewind both tapes.
Yeah, Be Kind, Rewind.
Be Kind,
That was on
Rewind.
the thing.
Yes, it was.
See, young people today, here's the thing.
Yeah.
They don't get it. They don't understand.
I think, well...
They don't. They can't. There's no way.
They do. It's surprising, though. They're exposed to it because they watch movies and they see it on movies. They see it on, nostalgic things like that.
No. Here's the thing. The other day, Ron and I canceled our subscription to Netflix. Mm-hmm. Okay? Because we just don't ever watch it. Mm-hmm. And so we thought, just cancel it. Why are we paying whatever it is, $10 a month, or I think it might have gone up, whatever it is. So we canceled it, and we get a text from Adam. What happened to Netflix?
He's attached to it?
Yes. We didn't know that he was watching it, but he had logged in, and Caleb, I think our son Caleb was also watching it. He goes, me and Caleb were watching something, and now I don't know where I'm at in the series. I was watching a series, and I had so many episodes under my belt. Now how am I going to know? They don't get it. They don't understand not having it on demand. They don't understand late fees, Catherine. They don't.
Well, that's true.
No.
Oh, yeah. Remember, if you did not get those movies back in time, like at the video store?
Yeah. Yeah. You had fees, people, that you had to pay.
No, I would agree with you on that. But, yeah.
Because I'm right. Yeah.
Well, I think they know about things, but they don't have the consequences of like what we went through.
I mean, it's okay. I'm happy for them that they don't have to know. Right? What it's like to pay a late fee. One time I had so many books. Oh, this is so funny. I had checked out of the New Lenox, Illinois library all the books I could find on getting organized.
Oh.
How to get organized.
I remember you guys a little thing on it at Peace Church.
Yeah.
And Danielle, who I worked with, said, do you want to go with me? Your neighbor Tracy is doing it.
Yeah.
And she goes, but she told me that she's not very good at being organized. And she's like, that's what's so funny.
Exactly.
She's going to do the thing.
So I check out all the books, like the maximum amount, which was like 7 or 8 books on how to get organized. And I take them home. And then I lose track of them because I'm not organized. Uh-huh. And then I couldn't find them to return them to the library.
That's hilarious.
And by the time I found them to return them to the library, I had to write a check, Catherine.
Yeah.
I had to pay with a check because I did not have enough money in my purse to pay to get my bail, to get out of the library jail.
Debt. Right.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
And the
funny.
librarian, who was very stoic, even she laughed at that.
No,
she's like, you're not too organized, are you? Like, shut up, take the money.
Well, yeah, I remember paying, not for books on being organized, but whatever.
That's okay.
Anyway. All right. Another thing that we
Jesus came for the sick, not for the well. I'm just saying.
That's true.
All right, go ahead.
We said goodbye to pagers.
Oh, yeah.
Pagers were
They were a big
thing of
thing.
the past. That's right. And guess what?
What?
Paper maps.
We didn't say goodbye to them. Everybody else did.
Well,
we still have them.
Yeah. I still have them.
Cathrine travels with me quite frequently, and she used to bring her atlas, which was kind of falling apart. And so I bought a new one.
Yeah.
It's in my car.
But where is my old one? You should still have it.
No,
Because we
I don't
left
have
it. Yeah, we left it in your trunk.
No, it's not in there. So
Muffin. It was definitely in there.
It's gone now.
Oh.
Well, we have a new one. It's 2023.
It's
Stop. You're making me laugh.
you and Muffin have a new one.
Oh, well, you can take it because I don't ever use it. Only when I'm with you. Okay, go ahead. What else you got? Yes, she can't do it now, friends. She's done.
I'm thinking about my map
that
I had since the early 90s.
Hey, you're gonna find it. It's at your house. It's not here.
No, Trace.
No.
We left it in. Yes.
No.
Okay, we're having a fight right here.
Let's do it.
Podcast.
Okay, let's arm wrestle for it. Anyway,
Okay.
go ahead.
All right. Air travel changed forever. We were able in the 90s to say goodbye and hello right up all the way to the gate. You could say goodbye to your loved one, and you could greet your loved one as soon as they get off the plane. You could also bring your own food and drinks, and you definitely didn't have to remove your shoes.
Yeah.
Can you believe that?
Yeah.
It seems like, gosh, we've had to do that for so long.
It has been a long time.
Yeah, but that was it. Oh, and also we said goodbye to dial-up internet and the landline being busy when you had to wait for that to come up.
Dial-up internet. See, that's another burden that young people, they just could not even imagine tolerating that.
Remember that?
Jeez. They'd be like, what is happening?
Yes. All right. Final thing. I got a question for you.
Yes.
What would you say was the color of the 90s?
If I had to choose a color?
Mm-hmm.
Well, gray.
No, teal. Teal was everywhere. Teal and purple. It was everywhere. Teal boats, Taco Bell.
I thought you meant what color would I give it, not what color.
Oh.
Not color would everybody else see. I would say gray.
No.
Eeyore, thanks for noticing me.
The color that was just like
Teal.
everywhere.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, that was fun.
That was fun for us. I hope you enjoyed it.
Oh my gosh, I hope so too, because we took 47 minutes of their time.
Right. They're never going to get that back. They won't miss it. All right. Do you have anything else that you wanted to say about saying goodbye to the 90s?
Well, we could throw in there KB toys. No more KB toys.
Oh, well.
I just put that as a
Too
side
bad.
note.
So sad. All right. What about the biggest impact that the changes? Is that what we were talking about with the computers and such?
Well, that was my answer. Yes. I would say that something that has affected us forever. I mean, I think one of the biggest changes, besides political stuff, would be the World Wide Web, for sure.
Yeah, technology and the way in which we communicate has impacted all of us and will continue to do so. Technology always has an impact, as well as political policy. People, they like to say, I don't want to get involved, I don't want to blah, blah, blah. But politics affects every single body.
Does. And
so
speaking of technology, now we've got the thing about artificial intelligence.
Hello.
And I think that's quite scary.
Yeah, podcasters of, 2050 are going to be like, can you believe?
Yeah.
All right, are we done?
Yes, we are done.
Oh, I got to do the verse.
Do the scripture.
Hold on.
We're going to do Hebrews 13:8.
That's right. I had it and then I lost it, so let me get it again. Hebrews chapter 13, verse 8, friends, it says this: Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today, and forever.
That's right. So we may be changing the world and culture and society and all the things, but
he's the same. And that's a beautiful thing, because he's God. He is the same. So he doesn't change. So you don't have to wonder. It gives us a lot of peace.
Mm-hmm.
He's a solid foundation. So you can build your house on that.
That's right.
All right.
That's right.
Are we done?
Call to action.
Oh, yeah. Our call to action. Sorry, I got to go to the bathroom.
Oh.
I've been sitting here for a while. Anyway, our call to action is for all of us to think of 3 or 4 things that you really appreciate about the 1990s and just write them down somewhere.
There you go.
Yeah, just to give yourself a sense of appreciation. It could be you graduated from a school, or you got a job that you loved, or you know, it could be something that you learned.
Yeah.
During that time.
I'm grateful for, that's when my family started.
Yeah.
So I'm grateful for that.
I would say that too. The 90s is definitely an era where I lost a lot in the 90s because I lost my mom.
Yeah.
But I also gained a lot because I had 4 of my kids, and, you know, my husband and I were newlyweds, just getting married in 1989. And so it was bittersweet.
Yes.
But mostly sweet. So.
All right. Awesome.
All right. Well, friends, that's
Okay.
a wrap. You've been listening to the Life Happens, Laugh Anyway podcast, and I'm still comedian Tracy DeGraff.
I'm still Catherine.
See you next time.
Bye-bye.